Hello out there. We're on the air. Welcome back to another episode of the KNGDOM Golf Show. We got a good one tonight. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We are in the heat of summer. We're a couple days away from August. And we got a live audience again tonight. Welcome, Aaron. A little different than last week, but it should be a little bit easier on the boys. So without further ado, let's get to this. Drummy, I'm going to tee you up. We'll be back in exactly 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Regan and Jordan Headley. We're back on schedule here, so we can send it straight up north to our boy Reg. See what's going on up there. Reg, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling?
Hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in.
What?
Yeah, things are great. Things are great in the north. Yeah, I guess could get into it a bit right now. I don't know. We had plans of going to North Dakota on Thursday night. Wednesday night, I got some crazy stomach pains that I haven't really had in my life before, and it lasted about 12 hours. So the day before a golf trip, it was like growing up and having hockey practice that night, so you don't want to go home from school. That's how because then you wouldn't be able to go to hockey practice that night. That's how I felt going to work Thursday morning. Went to work, still wasn't good. Threw up a few times there and decided to go to walk-in and spent the day in Emerge and had to meet with a surgeon on Friday morning, so I had to miss the golf trip. So you can imagine how pumped I was about that. Finally got the go ahead to go to the golf trip, and then that lasted about 2 days and didn't end up going. So, but no, I don't know. I got as far as right now, I don't know what it was. Maybe he thinks maybe it was some kind of gallbladder issues, like a gallbladder attack, which I've heard in the past that they're pretty painful, and I can attest to it. It was pretty wild for the whole night, Wednesday night.
Here.
What happened there?
What happened here?
My wrist hit the button, I guess, while I was trying to share this, and it went to the countdown.
We're back.
We're back. But Reggie, you're feeling pretty good as of this moment, at least?
No, I wouldn't say so. I'm it's getting better for sure. It's still some shit going on. I don't know. I was talking to my doctor today, and he wants to do a couple more tests, so we'll see what exactly is going on. He also asked me, it's always the worst when somebody asks you, somebody in the medical profession asks you what type of drinker you are if you drink a lot.
Yeah. How much do you drink?
And he's like 3 drinks a week or more. Probably more than that. Like, I'm human. But no, he said probably to cut back on the sauce a little for the foreseeable future here. So we'll see if that helps. I don't know.
Might make sense. Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, like,
I'll probably listen to him for now.
They might know a few things, right? But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you just keep moving on until you get an attack like that. So
yeah, sometimes the body just says, "Quiet down."
Yeah, tap out here, bud. But why do they set the bar so low? Like, who set these parameters? Like, could they not start at like 10?
Yeah, like, do you have 10 drinks a week? Yeah, probably on average, but probably more or less. Still.
Yeah. Then you can actually give them an honest answer and not try to lie. Then they can sort out what's going on.
Shame you so hard.
Well, it's disappointing about the trip, but glad you're here in one piece-ish.
Yeah.
Get you sorted out.
Oh, I got to tell you one quick story too. This just like so I'm in Emerge for 6 or 7 hours on Thursday, and both the doctor and the nurse know that I got a golf trip to go to that night because I told them that if you could speed things up a little here, I got a ride to catch to go to Brandon. Like I'm still gonna go. I won't drink, but I still want to go. Like I want to play these courses, and so they both know. And the nurse is in there every now and then checking on things, and she's talking like she's just telling so many personal stories about herself. Like I was like, I had such a bad headache, and I just did not give a shit about anything she was saying, but she just kept going. So, anyways, the doctor comes in, and he comes in, he's like, yeah, we couldn't find anything. I'm going to talk to the surgeon, see what he wants to do. So he's like, it sounds like we're going to let you go right away here, and then I would suggest if you go on the golf trip, just don't drink. So I'm like, oh, fucking right. It's like, I'm going on the golf trip. And then he leaves for like 20 minutes and comes back. He's like, actually, I just spoke to the surgeon, and I know you wanted to leave tonight, but he wants to meet with you tomorrow morning at 10. And I'm like, just completely crushed. I'm like, Jesus. Okay, whatever. I guess I'm sitting in Emerge. I'm like, I guess I should probably, if the surgeon wants to see me, I guess I should probably meet with him. And then, so this is where it gets wild. So the doctor leaves because he's like, they think there might be something on the CT scan that they're not sure what it is and whatever. And the nurse comes in after the doctor leaves, and she's like, oh, by the way, doctors can't be blunt, but nurses can. Usually when a doctor says that, it's because the surgeon has to break the news to you that there's a big mass somewhere in your body, and the doctor doesn't want to tell you that.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, what? And she's like, but don't let that scare you. I shouldn't say that, but nurses are blunt. That's the way it is. I shouldn't have told you that, but are you scared now? And I'm like, oh, no, not really. I don't think that's what it is. She's like, well, yeah. Like I said, nurses are blunt. And I'm like, what the f-? Like, this is after I've been in there for like 7 hours. I'm just crushed like can't go golfing. And she comes in there. No. She's like an agency nurse.
Jesus.
Wild.
You should tell somebody about that.
Just did, bud.
Yeah, no, it was weird, man. Yeah. Really weird.
Point?
So I had that going through my head on Thursday night.
For sure. Good luck sleeping with that.
Yeah.
What a donkey. Sick bedside manners.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm on the lemon waters, but that's it for me.
Jor, what's happening out in Rossman, buddy?
Not as much as Reggie.
Well, you guys got a golf trip, so let's hear about it.
Arn, you can't be whining here. We'll maybe save the golf trip stuff for. I want to kind of dive into it, so we'll get through the intros here, and then we'll get to the golf trip stuff. But anyways, we had what's been going on here? Got back last night. Drums is in a new house, as you could probably see if you're watching the video. If you're listening to it, he's in a new location. And so we had to cancel yesterday's show because he didn't have internet. So we got internet today. I wasn't too upset that we had to cancel last night. We didn't get back till about 5 o'clock. We had a couple issues at the border. I mean, kind of makes sense. You got 7 guys coming back in a van full of golf clubs that they might want to take a peek inside. And they did. So we got hung up there for about an hour, maybe more. Nothing really came of it, though, which was pretty surprising. But they give us a good scare anyway. So we didn't get back to about 5 o'clock last night. But no, it's been good. Got lots of sun, lots of golf, some good golf, some bad golf. And we'll talk about it tonight. So
speaking of good golf, you had a round on Thursday.
Yeah, I had 2 rounds on Thursday. I shot, I think, an 83 on Thursday morning, and then a 69.
Nice follow-up.
Yeah.
While it was 48 degrees, it was crazy.
And that was one of my 2 golf shirts that I packed for the trip. So believe it or not, played that 36 holes in 40-degree heat. drove to Bismarck that night. And then I had one golf shirt for the rest of the weekend. And we were in the desert. We were in the Badlands. So needless to say, the laundry machine got some use today, the washing machine. But no, we got some local stuff to talk about tonight. There's been some big news. The 69 was pretty unexpected, honestly. I had a putt for 68 on the 18th hole, about a 10-footer, and I didn't even know where I was at. I didn't know if it was for 68 or 69. I missed it, I think, barely. But I tied my career low for the golf score. So it's kind of been a roller coaster golf season so far for me. There's been I haven't had too many rounds in the 70s, which usually I'm about 78, 79, 80 in there, but I've had some higher ones. I've had this one kind of came out of nowhere, but I've been golfing more. So I guess funny how that works, eh?
Yep. Crazy.
Funny how that works. And
hard to believe.
Yeah, hard to believe you put some energy into stuff and practice a little bit. You might get a little bit better. But I should give a shout out to Dwayne. I saw him on the golf course today. This course is looking really good. Like it's mint. And I know we talk about Rossmo all the time, but if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure to get out here by the end of summer because it's a fun course. You can bring out some friends, your girlfriend, and it's never too busy. It's a fun course. You got to play well to score well. And it's pretty inexpensive, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about tonight, how expensive golf has become. So shout out to Dwayne. He was talking about the 6-sums and 8-sums that we were bitching about on the show last week. And so it's a theme. It's a theme in golf right now. But anyways, Drummy, you're in a new spot. What's going on in Brandon? How's the new shack?
We're in the new spot in the new digs here. Things are pretty good, man. Yeah, moving the week of the absolute hottest weather that we could have was tough. The old place, the AC went down on Monday, so that didn't help our case at all.
Oh my!
So we were kind of rotating. Stayed at my mom and dad's, and then running back to pack and move. It was just kind of an absolute gong show of a week last week. But we're in here. We've got a good portion unpacked already. There's always boxes to go through, but got the kid's backyard all set up so he can just kick him outside and he can get out of our hair for a bit. Got a new swing set and all that good stuff for him. So we're cooking. Yeah.
What'd you have for at the last house there, your temporary house for all? Not much of a backyard?
No. Like it was fine. It wasn't like I got this swing set in the winter, like on sale, but I didn't want to put it up and move it, all that type of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, everything can come out of boxes and he can get playing in the backyard, little pool set up for him. So he's got a slide into the pool. He's just loving life right now, which is good because of course this week and the week we moved last week was the 2-week vacation for daycare. So timing wasn't ideal in that, just to get him out of your hair while you're trying to unpack and move and everything, but made everything work. Shout out to both of our parents. We would have been absolutely lost without them. They were here. They've been here for a week, just helping get things in place. Dad's building barbecues. Papa's building swing sets for everybody. It was a little collaborative effort, but we're in here. We're ready to go. It's perfect.
God bless parents.
Oh. Guess that's me.
Yeah, that's you now, Drummy. God bless you. Yeah, mom and dad have been helping out here quite a bit this summer as well. So shout out to them. I didn't even text dad today, but if dad's watching this or watches later, it's much appreciated. I was gone we've been gone quite a bit this summer. It's been busy, but it's nice. I think things are kind of slowing down now for the most part. We're almost in August, boys. Like, I don't know how that happened. Thursday is August 1st. But can't speak for you boys, but the rest of my summer is a little bit clearer than it has been up until this point. So kind of looking forward to that. I'm not going to lie.
I got a wedding this weekend, a wedding next weekend. So
you're still in it.
Reggie's still in it. And then a glow golf tournament. When will it end? We haven't officially announced the glow golf tournament, but right now might be the time to do it, just to I don't know how many of our viewers or listeners would be coming out anyways, but it looks like we're going to have a date of August
17th.
Saturday, August 17th, which is in only 2.5 weeks from now.
Oh, that's crazy. What the hell's going on?
That hurts to say.
We got the glow balls in, so we should be good now. I just got to stop at Dollarama and absolutely raid them like we do every year for the glow sticks. But August 17th. So if you're interested, I don't know how many glow golf events there are this year. It seems like it was pretty popular last summer. But if you want to come out to Rossman Lake, bring a tent, bring a camper, bring your clubs. And this is what is this? The third or the fourth annual, Reggie?
Third. Fourth?
Sure. It's either third or fourth.
No,
well, you did
third.
2 last year, right? You did Bertle and
this is only the third.
Rossman.
We did one here. So yeah, August 17th. I don't know if you're in the area or not, but registration has not begun yet. I'm not sure why I announced that, but if you're if you want to
begin soon, though, it's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll probably announce it tomorrow or the day after, I would say. But I mean, it usually sells out pretty quick, so I'm not in too much of a rush. I'm still coming off the King Cup shit.
This is my first time hearing about it, so we'll see.
Well, are you coming?
It's my first time hearing about it. You sound like Trump.
I'm taking notes.
Speaking of Trump, let's kick off the show with that. Drummy, you watched Trump and Bryson. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I caught a good portion of it. I mean, it's entertaining. That guy's literally an entertaining figure. No matter what you think of him politically, love or hate, you're still going to watch. Obviously, people are watching this. They got 9 million views in 6 days. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like that's pretty dang good on a golf video. But it's good, man. Like it's the same old shit though. Like this guy's driving on greens. I don't think I caught him on a green, but he was definitely like on fringes, like right beside the tee blocks, right on the tee box, like just doing whatever the hell he wants, which is
the king of the world, man.
Yeah, he's the king of the world. And actually a heck of a lot better golfer than I actually thought he was.
He's
got the videos. Man. His swing is kind of all over the place, but he played good, man. Like he made a couple of solo birdies in a scramble to break 50. Like, I don't know. He says he plays like quite a bit, but I don't know that he'd be playing under cameras to that magnitude. So there's probably going to be a little bit of that, but a guy like that's probably used to it. But I don't know. It was just a good watch, man. Bryson, again, we just keep saying he just keeps growing and growing on me watching that. And then I actually got into a bunch of his videos. The Phil one was really good too. Phil's just a beauty. Phil lives for that type of shit like that. If this was back in Phil's heyday, he would be absolute top of the golf world, like closer to Tiger than what the gap always was. Because he's just pure entertainment. The way he speaks, like he's just one of the boys bullshitting out there talking about gambling. He's like, yeah, I don't know about gambling. I don't gamble at all. But like this smirk on his face where everybody knows you're a degenerate. So it's just a beauty. And then I watched the other one with Bubba. Again, pure entertainment. It's just awesome. It's not like you have to pay attention. I've always got it kind of on in the background now too. But yeah, Bryson absolutely killing it. The Trump one was great. You're not going to get anything like politically out of it. It's just them kind of talking about trees and shit on the golf course. It's for kind of fans of golf. It's another good video.
Yeah, Trump's he's got game, man. I mean, the one thing I'll say about Trump's golf swing is he gets through the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think that's something that even I struggle with as a golfer. Is I sometimes fall on my back foot and don't get through it, but he's got a lot of weight going through that thing, and he seems to get right through it. So I'm sure he's had some help through the years. Just
oh, for sure,
he's got a bit of cash. So and he plays a lot.
He's the best he could be right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's got a granddaughter that's really good, like university.
She just crashed.
Yeah.
All right, before we go any further, though, we forgot how we always start our show off. We're getting a little
Cheers.
rusty. We always start off with the cheers.
Oh, you're right.
We skipped right past it. And if you
Well-
guys don't have anything, do you have something?
Well, I'll probably say what you're going to say, so go ahead, Reggie.
Is he from south of the park?
Nope.
No. Well, cheers to Patty Law for putting on another Marathon Monday. There's been some content. I just got caught up on Instagram when I got home, and it's catching on like wildfire. People wanted to be part of the cause. Just kind of all over Manitoba trying to play 100 holes, which is unreal, raising crazy amounts of money. Basically every twosome that I saw raised at least $2,000, 1,800. Like, it's impressive what he started, what they've done. I don't know. Did they try to break that record today?
Yeah.
And was there any footage of it anywhere?
I think they got to 307.
333.
They went 333.
They did it?
Whew.
I didn't see it anywhere. I was trying to find it.
That was on Golf Boys of not Boys of Vain. Glenbro's Instagram account. Reggie, that's who I was going to cheers to too, but you said it's he, so I thought I was talking about Patty and Dylan. I thought we were talking about two different things there. But yeah, no, unreal to see. 333 holes. It looked like they weren't too interested in what they shot on the holes. I saw some wedge putts throughout the round on their stories that they shared, but I mean, you can't really be screwing around reading putts and even getting out the putter, I guess. They've done it for, I don't know what annual this was, but I'm thinking at least 5 or 6 years now. So they probably calculated what slows them down and what speeds them up. And I think some holes they decided to option the putter.
So that's a world record?
I think they said unofficial.
Yeah, it says tied the world record at 306.
In 12 hours? Is that what it was?
In 12 hours, yeah. So that's 18 and a half rounds they played today, hey? Like that's more than I played this year.
I didn't know it was this. I didn't know it was tomorrow or today, I mean. I wish they would maybe we'll have to get on their mailing list or something to let us know when it is, because I definitely would have been a part of that. I would love to do that amount of holes out here.
We should do it next year.
I'll officially commit to it if we get a bit of a heads up of when it's going to be next year.
We could zip around Rossman. Well,
they zip around Glenbro pretty well too. It's cool to see because like you don't really see it at any of the city courses. Like Weed City wasn't on there. It's the small town courses that are kind of open for the day and they are willing to clear some space. So I would love to do that next year and raise a bit of cash for those boys because they're doing a heck of a job with that. So anything that we can do, obviously, but I really wish I could have done it this year. I just didn't know it was today, and I wouldn't have been able to do it after the last 72 hours that I had anyways, but and Reggie. So anyways, cheers to Patty, 333 holes today. And I better get the other ones right before I announce them because there was about 5 or 6 other people playing as well.
Yeah, the Shields.
Ryan
and his son. Yeah. And then Nate Sadarosny and Brett Jans, yeah. And I don't know the other. I didn't see.
There's a couple that I didn't know, but those were the 2 that I did know. So,
Glenn Tosh and Ty Tosh.
Right. Are you looking at them all, Reggie?
And Maury and Ricky Kowalik and Maury Zurowicz.
Braden Payette as well. I don't know where they were at.
And Mackenzie Ham at Manitou. Minnedosa, Souris, Poplar Ridge.
Ricky Kowalik, did you say that, Reggie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. They started as just the 2 of them, and it seems like it's growing every year. So hopefully they can add us to the list next year, and it'd be cool to be part of that.
We'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, Reggie, I don't know what he's up to. Could be anything at this point. But as he disappears, we should give a shout out here. We got kicked off of Twitter for not paying Elon $8 a month. So the Kingdom officially got kicked off of Twitter, which was kind of shitty because we were actually getting about 150 to 200 views on those Twitter videos. But I just don't feel like paying Elon $8. Shitty to say, but so what that means is we're actually on Zap.stream tonight, which is a I don't know what you'd call it, even an uncensored, censorship proof.
The Wild Wild West.
The Wild Wild West of video streaming. It's pretty cool. I see that we actually have more people watching over there than we do on YouTube right now. So shout out to Zap.stream. I think I got some buddies on there, but who knows? Anyways, we got a new Kingdom fun on there. We got a new goal. We're going to be streaming on Zap.stream every week. It costs a bit of Bitcoin to stream on there, but it's better than you got to be verified, I guess, now on Twitter to stream. So
weird.
They cut us off. Anyways, Zap.stream is better. It's just kind of shitty that
maybe it's because we keep calling it Twitter. Do you think it's ever going to go away? The name?
I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't really matter much. It's the same company, same person. Okay. So yeah, let's do we even do a cheers there? Cheers, boys. Cheers, Patty. Cheers, Dylan. And cheers to everybody else who was a part of that great initiative today, Marathon Monday. And if you want to check it out, see what was going on there, you can follow them on Instagram, Marathon Monday. They got quite a long story, almost King Cup length. Okay, so we should give a couple more local shout outs here while we're at it. I saw that Kenny Keeler took home his very first Portage Open, which is great to see. Keebs has kind of been one of the kings of Portage, I would say, in terms of the golf world, but it looks like it was his first time winning this year. So Portage Open, I love Opens. I think we talked about this last week on the show after watching the Open Championship, but anybody can play. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to qualify, or I guess in this case, you don't have to qualify. Some you do. But there's guys from all out of over Manitoba, and Kenny Keeler fired it was just a 1 day, I believe.
No, 2 day.
2.
Yep, 2 day.
Shot 67 the first day, and I think maybe I don't know. He ended up 1 over, I think, for the tournament. I thought I saw, but
so 67 Saturday. That's the one that I see Saturday, and then 1 over Sunday. So, anyways, there was a couple other friends of the show on the in the hunt there in the championship flight. We had Thomas Friesen was up there.
In the Portage Open?
Yeah. Tommy's doing the tour this year. He's playing some good golf.
Yeah, he is.
Clark Sisson, which is our pal from Scottswood.
Oh,
Scottswood. Yeah. Clark is one of the owners there. Look at this, boys. This is going straight into the Kingdom Fund. I set up a new goal. You can do that for you can actually send Bitcoin back and forth over on Zap.stream, which is pretty badass. And an anonymous person, this is what I love about Zap.stream and what I love about Bitcoin itself. An anonymous person just zapped us 2.1 thousand sats and said, can't do this on Twitter.
Who did? Anonymous?
Anonymous person.
Rando. Love it.
So you have to love that. We've been on YouTube. We've been on Twitter for a couple years now, and we haven't seen a dime from them. And we actually got kicked off of there. So Zap.stream, we've been a couple episodes in here, and we've already made more than we made on those 2 other platforms. So good to see. Pretty cool. Gives me a lot of hope.
How much did he send?
What's that?
How much did he send?
2,100 sats. Which would be the equivalent of a couple bucks, probably.
Yeah.
But we don't really talk in dollar terms. We talk in sats. It's a big deal. 2,100 sats. So thank you to whoever sent that on there.
When Bitcoin goes to the moon one day, he just sent us like $5,000.
Well, yeah, I always say that because I do my show on Zap.stream every day too. And I'm under the belief that we'll get to a day where it's 1 sat equals $1, which means that'll be, in terms of purchasing power, Bitcoin would have to get to, I think, 100 mil for that. But definitely not out of the question.
For one Bitcoin, 100 mil?
Some big
100 mil?
predictions. Yeah, there's smart people who think that it's going to go to $1 billion plus. I mean, my thoughts on it is that there's really no ceiling on Bitcoin because the other side of things has no bottom. So it's really hard to estimate anything. It could go to who knows. But speaking of Trump, he was also at the Bitcoin
I was going to say,
conference,
Big T was pumping it.
which is wild to me. But anyways, let's move on. So thank you to the anonymous person over in Zapdos stream. That's pretty badass. So what else we got, Drummy? We got much for Around the Greens tonight?
Not a whole heck of a lot. My Bryson Trump take was kind of in there as well. Did you guys see Jonathan Vegas won the 3M Open yesterday? And one of his tee shots ended up in the crook of a policeman's arm. Like right in his, like bounced up, hit him in the chest, and stuck there.
What?
So they, when he got there, that's where his ball was. Other than that, what did I read today? It was 2,000. It was almost 3,000 days since his last win for Jonathan Vegas, which was the 2017 RBC Canadian Open. So that's a name that's been around, and
he ripped it up that weekend, I think.
Yeah, at the Canadian Open.
Yeah,
like, massacred it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But another little fun fact: he is sponsored by MLB.
I love guys that are sponsored by MLB.
I don't get it. It's crazy.
Wasn't
like
Cam Young as well?
Yeah. Or you would
love that shit.
Yes, they're both MLB, right?
Who?
Yeah, the other guy that won, the young guy there, Jake Knapp is sponsored by the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I remember that too.
Sponsorship.
Because he like grew up around there. Yeah.
No, he played with the pro when he was like getting his card and shit. He played with the guy or like the president of operations or something at his club.
That's both those are just such weird sponsorships.
Yeah.
I love it.
So random, but it's hilarious. Other than that, we got some Olympic golf teeing off this week, boys.
Yeah, huge.
Do you guys know why some countries have more than other countries for golfers?
Just gonna ask that why the states are allowed 4.
Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe
they're the only one that has more than 2, right?
Yeah, maybe you should have done some research, but like there are a good chunk that only have 1. Most have 2.
Do you think it has anything to do with world rankings?
Give me a sec. I'll find out.
I don't know.
I'm guessing it's world rankings. Pretty cool, though. But... Is this the same course they played for the Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. That'll be sick then, because that's a sick course.
Yeah.
But it's shitty that Rory... it's singles.
Yeah, I guess what do you do? Like, obviously, if the states have 4 on their team, everybody else has 2. Like, you can't do team. I don't know.
Here you go, boys. I got it. The United States has 4 golfers in the Olympics due to having more than 2 golfers ranked in the top 15 in the world, as per the Olympic qualifying rules. Countries with 4 players in the top 15 in the world golf rankings, which are very accurate and realistic, and we should put a lot of weight into, can send that many, while all other countries are allowed to play with only 2. This exception allows the U.S. to have an additional 2 spots for their golfers to compete in the Olympics. And that is courtesy of our friends over at Venice.ai.
That's kind of tainted, though, now, isn't it?
Yes, definitely is.
I mean, Bryson should be up there anyways, which is just another American. Knocks one of them out.
I think he is, isn't he? He's got to be up
top
there.
15? I don't think he's in top 15 anymore.
Yeah, he would be for sure.
Let me ask Venice.ai. Who are the current top 15 golfers per World Golf Useless Rankings?
It's like we got our own Joe Rogan, Jamie.
Bryson's number 15.
Ooh.
As of yesterday. Man, this site's so badass. It's like Google on steroids.
It's not right though.
So did he not get picked
It says-
because of Liv?
It says Big B's 9th on mine.
What?
Huh.
This says as of yesterday.
Wow.
Who's number one for yours, Reggie?
Scotty.
Scotty, Xander, Rory, Auberg, Clark.
Oh, this isn't right then.
No.
What the hell? It says source official world golf rankings. Anyways, I guess I shouldn't talk this website up too much. Maybe my first one was wrong too.
John Rahm's 10 too.
Oh, I have. See,
Rambo's playing.
Ram is number 2. That's so
When is that
weird.
from?
It says as of July 28, 2024, the current top 15 golfers in the world rankings are that. And it says that the source is the official world golf ranking.
Rombo and Ty Hatton in a playoff yesterday, hey?
Was it a playoff? I didn't realize it was a playoff.
And he was quite emotional. There was a
Yeah,
lot of
why?
talk of how emotional he was. I don't know. He's had a tough time over there.
Who?
Rombo.
Oh, and at Liv?
Yeah, it's like every clip you see, he's pissed off at patrons, pissed off at the course, pissed off at music going on or something like that. But yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the fact that Ty kind of missed a putt, and yeah, I don't know what the whole situation was, but he was pretty emotional for the win.
Well, that was weird.
They're teammates, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So their team had a pretty good showing then. That was in the UK.
Anything else, Drummy?
I don't have much more, boys.
No.
Slow
a couple
moving.
things. Shout out to Eric Prokopowicz, local Dauphin kid, finished just solo sixth in the Manitoba Am. So he gets to go to nationals next month, which is pretty sweet. He had a hell of a week. Like, I think he finished 2 over. No, I shouldn't say that. I think he was even overall.
Nice.
Actually, he was 2 under on the last day until the last couple holes. He bogeyed the last 2, but still finished top 6, and he needed top 8. So that's a huge bonus.
Do you know where nationals are?
Played some great golf. He posted. God, I should know. I think something tells me Saskatchewan, but I think Saskatoon, but I don't know that for sure.
Hmm.
But he's been playing some great golf. He's been posting. I've been following him pretty closely, and just last week he was 6 under on the front at Dauphin, and he ended up shooting 65. I think he made a bogey and then kind of fell apart a little bit. But I think he's been playing very good, and it says now looking forward to the Canadian Amateur next month, but it doesn't say where it is. Doesn't really matter. He's there anyways.
He's there.
He's representing Dauphin. He plays every day at Dauphin. That course, man, it raises some good players. If you play there every day, short game's unreal.
Really does.
You have to hit it straight off the tee. The only thing it's lacking is probably length, but obviously it's not affecting him a whole lot. So, what else was I going to say? I saw something else. Dan Rappaport, did you see that video today?
Sorry, before you go any further, Reggie, we should give a shout out to Braxton Kuntz as well.
Yeah.
The first ever 4-time Manitoba amateur champion.
Back to back, eh?
That's crazy.
So impressive.
King Cup champion had a good showing too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually had a 1-shot lead with 3 to go on last day. And he doubled or tripled 16 the par 5.
Oh, really? God.
Yeah.
And he's got a blown ACL too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's in a brace.
Pretty tough. I mean, I don't know what they are in terms of age, but I feel like if you've won 4 or 3, even up until that point, 3 Manitoba amateurs, you have the experience there. So I think that Drew will probably just learn from that. I mean, that happens to the best of us and the best of us. So I think that's pretty normal to be in a pressure situation. I mean, that's golf. Even to get to that point where you're in the hunt for a Manitoba Amateur, like that's so impressive. So big shout out to Drew Jones for that.
I think actually, sorry, it was 17 because he birdied 16 to take a one-shot lead. I think, if I remember correctly, and then 17 he made triple, I think, and then lost by. He ended up bogeying 18 too, but he lost by 2 or whatever it was. Still very impressive golf. He had a heck of a week.
Big time.
Yeah, just shows if you play in the King Cup, you get your game ready for Manitoba Am.
Primed up.
Next thing I had was I saw Dan Rappaport was talking about they're doing a Creators Cup on the Wednesday of the Tour Championship at East Lake. So like 12 hours before the tournament starts, it's going to be open to all the fans who pay the entry for the Wednesday qualifier or Wednesday practice rounds, and they're going to have like all the broadcasting stuff. They're going to have the top tracer stuff.
Really?
It's going to be fully broadcast. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's huge. That's a huge step in golf, man. Like, and they're going to be playing that course as mint as it's going to be for the tournament the night before.
That's awesome. I feel like we talked about that like a year ago, saying that that's what they need to do is like.
Well, they did
in same conditions, same course with like average Joes, but I guess these guys are probably a little bit better than average. But
they did do a tournament previously. It wasn't at a course of this magnitude, and at the same time,
I think, wasn't it?
No,
different.
I think it was just completely separate, but it was PGA sanctioned, I believe.
Yeah, it was called like the Q or something.
Yeah. But yeah, this one it's like they're playing in the actual conditions of the tournament, everything like that, like crazy. Test to see where these guys are at compared to the rest of the pros.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it is kind of a bit of a cheat code, right? Like those Brian Bros, like they play on tour every now and then, or maybe a couple times this year at least. But I don't know. I've even caught some of these good videos recently too, and a lot of those boys can play really good golf. Fat Perez, we were just joking about the Bob's Does Sports guys the other day at golf, like how they just kind of stumbled into this kind of open market where it was kind of the sandbaggers like us wanting to watch guys golf, and this is the result of it. Like guys make careers off it on YouTube. It's crazy.
I was going to say, I'm sure some of those guys in the Creator Cup will actually be more famous than some of the guys playing the actual event.
Some of the guys that have like won tournaments this year, they have more following.
Yeah. Which is wild.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes to show, though, that's exactly where we are in terms of like the world right now. It's we're moving to an attention economy, really not so controlled by everybody as it was before. Because if you think back, like 20 years ago, in order to get on TV or even to have a podcast or whatever it is, like you had to go through a bunch of different barriers to do that, and you don't have to do that anymore. So you're seeing a whole new, I don't even know what you call it. Whole new world of just people who are doing their own thing without anybody telling them that they can't, and making it work. There's just no gatekeepers anymore.
The only gatekeepers are fans, and if there aren't any, then you stop doing it, right?
Exactly, which is the free market.
Yeah.
Joey Coldcut's knocking in an ace the other day.
Yeah, I seen that too.
I was just thinking
that guy's a menace too.
Oh yeah, man. Was it him or Fat President hit their head on that garage door?
It was Joey Coldcut.
Oh god, that's one of the best videos on the internet.
Like, why do you jump? Do you know how many times I've done that in the garage and you just step over the beam, right? And he tried to clear it with zero clearance.
He hit hard.
It probably changed their trajectory of their life, though, that video.
Yeah, 100% it did.
Oh, God, that was a funny video. Every now and then I just search it up.
Okay, let's maybe talk about. Do we have much else to talk about? I want to talk about the trip for sure. I think it's very relevant to the people who watch our show.
Definitely get into it.
Maybe let's just do our fix your divots first here, Drummy. Let me just open this up quickly, make sure we're on the same page. So we asked the question like we do every week. This is we've been doing this for a while, but it's something that we do to find people's pet peeves on the golf course. See what they're disliking out there. Now, where the hell is this? Anyways, I think we're okay. So the segment of Fix Your Divots is sponsored by our friends at the Prairie Scratch Tour, which features players like Drew Jones. I don't know if Thomas Friesen has played any Prairie Scratch Tour events, or KNGDOM Golf. Kenny, I don't know if he's played any or not, but it is the premier tour of Manitoba here, which was desperately needed for a long time. And they do 5 events every single year, every single summer here. 1 in May, 1 in June, July, August, and September. So the next one coming up here is in Falcon Lake.
Ooh, nice.
Which is a course
what a beauty course.
Really, really, really want to get to. And they actually have they had their summer showdown yesterday, I believe, over the weekend. Yeah, I think.
Where was it at again?
Corey Oaks.
Right.
So then they just posted. I mean, that one's done now, so you can't get into that. But if you're wanting to play, if you're a competitive or fairly competitive golfer and want to get some reps in, some good experience, you play against the best players in Manitoba, make sure to register for the Bison Championship out at Falcon Lake. And that is in August, August 24th and 25th. So I think right after the Tamarack, or the Tamarack weekend, I believe. So anyways, big shout out to Prairie Scratch. They're doing some great work over there. You can find them at prairiescratchtour.ca or find them on Instagram, Prairie Scratch Tour. So Drummy, what is the Fix Your Divot tonight?
This week's Fix Your Divot comes from our boy Dusty Dick. And he says, shit bunkers and golf course leadership seemingly not being dedicated to getting their course in the best shape possible. It's expensive to golf, and golfers should feel like the course wants them to come back due to receiving good service and good course experience. We've talked about this plenty of times. Even just having like a good person in the pro shop that like is amazing at their job, like hard to explain, but like somebody that kind of goes that extra mile just being in the pro shop. And like he said, there are some courses, without naming names, but there are courses around here where they could do themselves a favor and get their conditions up to snuff. Whether that's the rough's not where it should be, cut wise. There are some tee boxes that for 25 years should have been fixed. Stuff like that is kind of what I think. Bunkers, like he said. Bunkers, like he said, absolutely, that's a huge one around here. There aren't many courses that we get to play consistently around here that have great bunkers. There's maybe 1 or 2 on a golf course, but other than that, they're kind of just a shithole. And a lot where you just pull them out because they're ground under repair for the entire season. So I don't necessarily know what the answer is there, but it could be focused on more. Like we said, there's courses around here have come a long way in the past 4 to 5 years. But there are times where you can feel a bit neglected as a paying golfer, where I paid X amount of dollars and the course maybe doesn't match what that price tag is. So if that's where he's at, I will concur with Dusty. He's probably had a few more trips around to different golf courses than I have this year. So he's probably seen a bit more, but absolutely in agreement. Golf courses that have an amazing pro shop attendant knock it out the park every time. And that's kind of the leadership that you want to bringing people back.
Yeah, I agree, Drummy. I think you said that pretty well. Actually, kind of leading into the next part here, the 2 courses that we played in North Dakota, they both had starters. They both went through the course. I know it's a little bit different, like a city course, that whatever. And Wheat City, actually, I mean, I like using Wheat City as an example, and because Dusty plays there all the time. But they kind of stopped doing their starter. They made that a priority for a couple of years, I think, to have a starter out there just to make sure that everybody's getting out there on time, welcoming. I will say that Wheat City has a very good crew of staff, though. I've never had any issues in the pro shop with the fellas there. But the starter is a big one because they kind of tell you what's going on the course. They make sure that everybody's starting on time. It makes a difference. And I remember Wheat City when they were doing that for a while. It was a very welcoming change. But anyways, I get it. It's hard to find staff nowadays. But Hawk Tree and Holy Pulpit both had starters, and one of the guys was very entertaining. And it changed the experience a lot. Like that's something that you remember is the first tee box, the first tee shot, and who was there for it. So, and just to follow up on one more thing there on the bunkers, I feel like that is such an easy one that people really notice as a golfer. If you're paying a steeper price tag on it, you kind of expect that they're a big part of the golf course. The bunkers, they're meant to penalize, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you just pull them out of there and without taking a stroke. I get that there's water issues, and I get that there's all these other things that come up throughout the year, but I do think that the bunkers should be a priority for people for courses.
Yeah, I think this year is a really tough year for bunkers in general in this area, just with the amount of rain that there's been.
For sure.
I know that Gilbert got all new sand, and the rain came and washed all away. So there's rocks all in the bunkers now. It's shitty. They went through all the work of getting the sand in there, and then the rain came and washed it away. And it's unfortunate because, like you said, it's tough when you hit in the bunker and you just take it out for one stroke, or not for no strokes, and just play the ground under repair, because it's there. I mean, all bunkers on every course are all strategically placed for your ball to funnel in there to make it more challenging for an up and down, right? And it takes away from kind of the game of golf in itself. On the course hospitality note, like just I've played at Gilbert 1,000 times in my life, probably more. Me and East went there for a quick 9 before the show tonight. I actually only got 6 in because I didn't want 7 in because I didn't want to be late for this, but whatever, it is what it is. No, and we showed up, and there's a lot of people there, and Doug, he's a great pro shop employee, like just always very welcoming and has a good grasp on things. I was actually talking to someone outside because Ford was having their staff appreciation night, and I saw him walk out of the pro shop, and he went and pulled a cart around, and he just pulls it right up to the front, and he's like, and I was about to go in, he's like, no, that cart's for you. I saw you walk up, which, I mean, it's awesome to me. Like, I got a cart membership. He knows that. He knows I don't need anything else from in there. So he just goes out of his way to walk out and grab me a cart and pull it around, which is, I mean, and a lot of the staff does that there. It's very welcoming. They have a very good staff at Gilbert this summer, and it makes a huge difference. Like,
it really does.
If I was from out of town and that happened, I mean, that'd be huge, right? But I mean,
that's the stuff you remember.
Yeah, and I mean, even the fact that I'm there all the time, and they don't have to do that for me. I know that I can just go in and ask them for a key and go get my own cart. Like, they don't have to give me any special treatment, right? And for him to go out there and pull it around, I thought that was a pretty nice gesture. And me and East actually talked about it. Like, it was worthy enough for a conversation, right? Like, I don't know, stuff like that sticks with you.
For sure. And the reverse of that too, like one that pops into my mind, and I don't know if they still do this or not, but I remember when Poplar was, their parking lot's a little ways away, they would bring their, I mean, they were 12, 13 years old, just summer jobs, but they'd just drive your cart out there, put your clubs in there, saves you a trip, saves some time. It's the first impression of the golf course. Mm-hmm. And then the flip side of that is I still remember the course that we didn't like as much in PEI, even though it was probably the nicest course, was Crowbush Cove, but it's just because they weren't as friendly as some of the other courses. So, I mean, you could have the nicest course on earth, and if you're not welcoming, if you don't make it feel welcoming for people and like you want them there, none of that really matters.
Yeah, I think, and we've talked about it on here before, and it's kind of like beating a dead horse a little bit, I guess. But included in the green fee, you're paying for the experience. You're paying for everything that's built in. You're paying for the total package. Like, I mean, let's be honest here. For the courses that don't have, and there probably isn't very many around here, for some reason it's not a Manitoba thing really to do, to include range balls with your green fee.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I'm not exactly sure why, but for the amount that it costs, for the amount of inconvenience it is, I don't really understand why. I don't know, man. I really don't understand why it's just not a thing.
I think it's because it's not really a destination thing, and the majority of courses around here, like, are members mostly, and members kind of just show up for their tee time and
5 minutes before and go.
Yeah, I don't know either, Reggie, because both the courses we played on the weekend, they both had range balls included. It just leaves a better taste in your mouth when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it encourages you to show up early. You get something. I mean, if instead of paying $10 for range balls, you get it for free. That's instantly a good taste in your mouth from the golf course. And honestly, like, if you really dive further into it, if you're warming up, you're there on time. You're probably going to play a little bit better golf. You're going to be quicker out there because you're probably not going to lose your first 3 tee shots because you're a little bit warmer, and you're just going to enjoy the golf a lot more. So it just seems like such a no-brainer to me to include that in the green fee price, especially since they're not $9 or $3 like they used to be in 1991.
Yeah. Like I went out last night and I just wanted to I went out by myself actually for like 6 hours yesterday. And I just wanted to hit some balls before because I haven't really had a chance to do a whole lot this year. It's $13 for a bucket of balls. There's probably like 50 balls in there.
That's crazy.
I took some practice swings on the range. I've never done that. Couldn't waste balls on them. I had to swing without balls. Usually you just blast as many as you want, but I couldn't. That's crazy though, but it is what it is. That's kind of just the going rate now. Get paid $20 for 2 large buckets in Dauphin, so it is what it is.
Okay, let's go to this here. So I'll try to. We're almost at an hour here, so I'll try to keep this short. I wanted to dive into this a little bit further, but that's okay. So we went to. This is a trip I've been wanting to go on for probably 10 years now at least, and that's a trip down to North Dakota, which you wouldn't really think would have that great of golf. It's very similar landscape to Manitoba, and I'm definitely not saying that we have bad golf here. We're very spoiled in terms of the golf we have in Manitoba here. But we played 2 courses. On Friday, we played Hawk Tree. On Saturday, we played Bully Pulpit. And to compare the two is very tough. The thing that I said afterwards, and kind of what I want to talk about tonight, if you're considering going down there, like, it was a 4-hour drive from Brandon to Bismarck. That's where we stayed. We set up home base in Bismarck. Hawk Tree was about 15 minutes. Every time I say Hawk Tree now, I think of the Hawk Tua, and that's what we were calling the course. But Hawk Tree, I think, is the number 1 course in North Dakota. It was about 15 minutes outside of Bismarck. It was a little bit more expensive. It was a golf course. It really reminded me of a mixture between Dakota Dunes and Minot Country Club. It was incredible. It had black sand. It was like coal and sand mixture. Really good views, some really cool holes, very well maintained. The link style of greens that I love, that they can be a little bit shaggy, they can be a little bit beaten up, but they still roll very true. That's what this course was. It was a golf course. Bully Pulpit was very nice. I think depending on which top 10 list you look at North Dakota golf, it's either Bully Pulpit or Hawk Tree. The top 2 flop back and forth. But Bully Pulpit was one of those courses that you have like the wow factor there. Hawk Tree didn't really have that as much. The front 9 of Bully Pulpit was pretty much a standard course. Very nice, very well maintained, some cool holes. And you could see all the badlands in the background of every hole. But it wasn't until you hit hole 12 or 13, I think, where you were actually in the badlands. Like, you were up on the elevation, you were hitting up, you were hitting down, and so cool. I'm sure you guys saw some of the pictures that I posted. I have a lot of them, but a lot of fun. And I would highly recommend both courses there. They're definitely bucket list destination. If you can get down there for the weekend, stay in Bismarck, drive there maybe Friday morning, play Hawktree, stay over, drive to Bully Pulpit. It was about 2 hours from there, but pretty cool drive. For about the first hour and a half, you're just kind of like driving through the prairies as you would expect in North Dakota. Lots of wheat fields, lots of cattle farms. And then all of a sudden you're in the Badlands and there's like rattlesnakes. And it's really hard to believe that that's like 4 hours or 5 hours from here, but it was 2 hours west of Bismarck. So kind of closer to like the Montana, that style of terrain. But
it's really close to Montana. Eh?
It is, yeah.
Like 10 minutes or something, or 20 minutes.
Is it that close?
I think so, yeah.
I guess I always think that South Dakota is beside North Dakota, but that wouldn't make any sense. That would be West and East Dakota. So yeah, no, I think you're right, Reggie, because we were actually we were still in North Dakota, but we were actually in a different time zone. So that would make sense that we were very close to the border there. But it was in like if you have some time, check out Bully Pulpit, the town there. It's called Medora, North Dakota. It's like you travel back in time like 200 years. Like it's a very old Western style town. Like it's really cool. And then there's another course down there that we didn't get to play, but it's called the Links of North Dakota. Those three are kind of like the top three courses in North Dakota, and very much worth it. I think we paid $130 for the first one, and then $130 for Hawktree, $100 for Bully Pulpit. But both very American, yeah.
So 7 million Canadian.
Yeah, that's the tough thing right now. Is like it used to be so cheap to go down to the States, but it seems like whether it's beer, food, golf, it's kind of like the same prices as Canada now. It's like it's not any cheaper, but you're paying 1.3 times because of our shitty dollar.
Wild.
But just kind of going back to what we were just talking about there, like, you know, I don't mind paying $100 when you have free range balls, you have really good service. We got free water out there on both courses. They just had free water in a cooler or in a fridge there. Like that's very cheap to do it, but that's the kind of stuff that you remember and that you don't feel as bad spending $100.
Definitely, you know? And it's like it's such a fixture at all those courses. It's just not in Manitoba. It's just not here.
Do you remember when we played or the course we played in Kelowna? Even the starter was like telling us of all the NHL pros that have their membership there. He's like, yeah, on 13, make sure you head over to the right and grab some grapes off the vineyard. Yeah. Or the cherries off the tree and shit. Like
I should know.
That's yeah. This boat dies.
No, but
that's the type of shit you get when you pay for that that price. And like, yeah, like that should be expected at courses like that. That's perfect.
And kind of the shitty thing for me is like it's $100, but you can't find a course here in Manitoba right now for under $80.
Oh no, that's not right. That's not a lot of money.
And it's like not the same ballpark, not the same amenities. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's an eye opener for sure.
I would say you definitely underpaid.
Yeah, like
just from some of those views.
From the pictures I saw and the experience and the everything about it, you can't get that for under $200 in any major city in the States.
No, you're absolutely right.
Or Canada.
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah.
But I mean, Dakota Dunes, we paid the same price.
Yeah, how much was it? 150 probably.
I think
it was 130. I think. Also a sick course though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not shitting on the dunes, but I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of caliber that you're at.
That's what you have to pay. $200 is the going rate.
So I guess on that note, I would really love to do a show maybe next week or sometime in the near future about like golf destinations from the prairies, like within 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Let us know if you've been into any courses, any golf trips in this area. I mean, we've talked about Saskatoon. We've talked about now North Dakota, Breezy Point, somewhere in like the 4 to 10 hour range. Let us know if you played any good golf trips. And I want to do like kind of a full show on them and go through a few different options, talk about the costs, And really just selfishly because we need to start planning ours for next year.
I think there's a really sick one in Minnesota. Like
Chaska?
really sick. No. Maybe it's in the state next to it.
Well, there's Wisconsin, like Sand Valley.
Yeah,
There's
Sand Valley. That's what it is.
Giants Ridge.
Sand Valley.
Yeah, I think that's about 12 hours though. But like I said, anywhere between let's say 5 to 10 or 12 hours from the prairies, from Brandon or Winnipeg. Let us know if you played any that you wouldn't mind either giving us a little summary of or just saying you had a good time or a bad time at it. Send us a message on Instagram or leave a comment on the video.
I've wanted to play bully pulpit and hog tree for 10 years, and I was 12 hours away from doing it. I'll get there. I will play.
Yeah, I want to go back. I would love to play those two courses again. It's one of those things where, especially courses like that, you play once and you're like, oh man, I would have played that hole so much differently if I could do it again.
Could you hit mine out on the way back?
Yep. It'd be a bit of a detour, but not really.
Could you play both those courses in one day?
Probably. I don't think you'd want to, though.
Could you, though?
Yeah. I'd rather play links in North Dakota, though.
I'm saying, yeah. Okay.
We played Minot already. Oh, you weren't there?
No.
Yeah, it was very similar to Minot Country Club in terms of like the terrain. But like I said, in comparison, like I think that if I were to play golf every day, I would want to play on Hawk Tree. Like it's one of those courses that you could tell it would make you a better golfer. Like it's a legitimate golf course. It's probably like the number one most ones. But if I had the chance to play one of those two courses once, I would choose Bully Pulpit just because it was incredible. Like it's hard to put into words. I mean, it'd probably be very similar to like playing in the Rockies in terms of the elevation. I'm not used to that. I've played more ocean courses than mountain courses, but I remember hitting a drive on hole 14 or 15. It was the best drive I hit all weekend. And it just seemed like the ball was in the air for 20 seconds. It was just like soaring because we were from an elevated tee shot, kind of into the sunset almost with the background between. You could see the ball the whole way. Like it gave me goosebumps as soon as I hit it. I told the boys, I'm like, watching that soar through the air, like actually gave me goosebumps.
I know what you mean. Like those are so sick. I've seen videos online of it. Like, yeah, but not in person.
It was like a 420-yard par 4, but downhill. And so I think I was like 50 yards short. Like it probably almost went 350 or a little bit more than that. Sculled it over the green, took a bogey. Because I was in the low spot. Like it went all the way down and then that green was back up and I was in the low spot. I couldn't even see the flag hardly from where I was. It's one of those times where you wish you wouldn't have caught it as clean as you did. But anyways, that's the links. That's North Dakota golf. Highly, highly underrated, I think, in terms of what people would talk about. And
Reese went to school in Grand Forks for 5 years, and he didn't even know those courses were there. He didn't hear them before. I said, I'm going to Bully Pulpit this weekend. And he's like, okay, where are you actually going? It's not a real name. I'm like, yeah, for real. He's like, no, that's a fake name. Like he didn't know it existed, and he's like right there. He's even closer.
Yeah, it was probably 2 hours west of wherever we stayed. Bismarck. Bismarck's a great town too. We stayed at the Everspring Inn, I think it was called, and had an outdoor pool and an indoor hot tub. So we had some fun there. We played a bit of volleyball. But anyways, let's wrap up the show. We're over an hour here, and it's Monday night, so the boys got to get to bed.
Yep.
Cool. I guess without anything more, we're done for this week. We'll catch everybody next week. We'll discuss, I guess, the Olympics will have come and gone, golf-wise. We won't get into anything more in the Olympics because it's a gong show.
Predict one player.
I'm actually going to go with X.
Yeah. Sure.
Oberg, gold medal.
Like it.
Maybe Corey Connors.
Oh, how crazy would that be?
Cool. Let's try to have on the show kind of like what's the fall schedule for the PGA, because I think that even a lot of golf fans don't know what comes next after major season's done. So let's talk about the playoffs, where they're at, and then talk about the President's Cup and who's going to be involved in that. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be such a fun tournament to watch. One last shout out here to our buddy Anonymous over in Zap.Stream for the 2,100 sats toward the Kingdom Golf Fund. Thank you.
Perfect.
And we had you in there all night tonight, so shout out to Zap.Stream for being here.
World record 333 holes.
Absolutely insane. Shout out to those boys. They will have a good sleep tonight, I imagine. That's a ton of swings. Holy shit.
We ended the day with a record 333 holes played in a 12-hour period of time with stipulations laid out by Guinness World Records. We are also, more importantly, on our way to record-setting year of fundraising for the Canadian Cancer Society, our main priority for each year. Please hit the link below to donate to ourselves or any other marathoners who have partaken this year or are yet to do so this season. Thank you for the continued support. It means more than any record ever could. So good for those boys. That's incredible.
Absolutely. I remember like when we first got on here and we talked about it with them, it was like 200 holes.
Yeah.
And they have cruised past that. So major shout out to those boys. Guinness record. That's absolutely nuts. But that's it.
Yeah.
We're out of here for this week. Peace out, boys. Love you. Later.
Love you, boys. Let me end this thing now. My mouse got